I'm Dolly Nykirk, CEO of Lifehouse Maternity Home, and I have here with me Anna, who's one of our participants here at Lifehouse, who's going to share a little bit about her story. So Anna, why don't you first give us a little history of Anna?
I grew up in Crestwood, Kentucky. I was the youngest of four at the time in my family. For my very first memory until I was 12 years old, I was being sexually abused in my family by my dad and my grandpa and my mom's boyfriend, and just physical abuse, a lot of stuff that to me at the time was normal that I didn't realize was not everybody's truth in their life. And around 12 years old, I met a friend at school, and I started going to her house and seeing that her life was very different and that I liked it. I didn't like my life that I was living back home. I didn't understand it, but I didn't like it. And I ended up leaving home at 12 years old. They adopted me and brought me in, and I went through a real grieving period I didn't expect. I went through a lot of things in secret, kind of trying to cover up like how I felt inside. I didn't want people to see that. Just struggling with eating disorders and eventually down the road addiction. Once I found it really kind of made me a person that I didn't care to show people who I was, that I enjoyed that freedom and not having to care so much what people thought and not having to feel anything is what it really became. So for the last 14 years, it's really just been, I found God and I loved him, but I didn't know his truth. I couldn't really live for him at the time.
So what kind of led you to Lifehouse, and what did you first think about Lifehouse when you moved in?
Yes, Lifehouse came to be for me. I got pregnant in addiction. I was not ready for a baby at all. My son's dad ended up leaving when my son was 12 days old, and I had nothing. I had no car, I had no money, like literally nothing. And someone that knew about Lifehouse told us about it, told us you guys love Jesus, and I've always loved Jesus, even though it's been hard for me to understand his love for me. And when I first came to Lifehouse, it was amazing. It felt like freedom to me, knowing that there was people there that wanted to help me, even though to me it seemed like such a dirty, bad situation. So it was exciting when I first came.
So what was the most difficult thing to adjust to here at Lifehouse?
People giving me advice about being a mom. I'm very headstrong in my beliefs and just things that I think are right. I just go for it. And so I had a hard time taking advice as a mom. People telling me you need to take care of yourself first before taking care of your son and things like that I'm like, you guys are crazy. Like, what do you mean?
You were at Lifehouse for a while, and then you left. And
Yes.
what led to your decision to leave, and then what led you to reach out to come back to Lifehouse?
My decision to leave, although I was sober off drugs and alcohol, I was not living a life for God. I wasn't truly sober in my mind. I was still chasing after everything else, not getting high and drunk, but just anything else to change the way I felt. And eventually I met a guy. I thought that's what I needed, was someone to rescue me and validate me, help me out of what soon became like, even though it was the greatest blessing at first, it became, oh my gosh, like I'm here like in a program with my son. I started really changing my perspective, and I moved out with Guy. But thank God that he did bring me back to Lifehouse. It got really bad. I chose to go that way, and eventually God let me go my way, and I saw the true depths of the decisions I was making. I ended up the worst addiction I've been in, the worst relapse I've had, and I lost my son for 3 months, and I went to jail. It hurts about losing my son, but I went to jail twice, and that was where I really saw that I couldn't do it. You know, I've tried every single way, and it wouldn't work. And I was scared to call you guys. I was scared to say, I really messed up, you know, like what you guys told me was true. But I remembered you guys love me, and my mom, she said, call Lifehouse, you know, they love you and they know you. And I did. I prayed to Jesus that night, and he told me that night you were going back to Lifehouse, and so I called. And then you guys told me, like, you know, we gotta go through a process. And in my head, I'm like, well, you already said I'm coming, so okay, do your process. It's a complete different experience this time.